Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something genuinely mind-bending. We're going to explore a fascinating concept presented by analyst Tom Jones. It's essentially a hidden mathematical code that governs both natural beauty and the chaotic swings of Bitcoin. We're going to decode how a simple mathematical sequence actually bridges the gap between the beautiful natural world around us and the incredibly fast-paced, ruthless environment of cryptocurrency markets. So if you've ever wondered if there's some kind of hidden order to the volatility of Bitcoin, well, you are absolutely in the right place.
All right, let's jump right into it. Take a look at this simple yet incredibly powerful number, the golden ratio, 0.618. Now, on the surface, it just looks like a random string of digits, right? Just a fraction. But in reality, this specific decimal acts as the foundational building block for structure, balance, and harmony across the entire universe. It's a mathematical constant that has literally fascinated architects, artists, and now financial traders for centuries. Now, before we connect this to the crazy world of crypto charting, we actually have to take a step back. We need to ask a really fundamental question about human perception. Why does one photograph look more appealing than another? Because before we can understand how price action works on a chart, we really have to understand how our own eyes process visual information and why we naturally prefer certain layouts over others. Imagine two identical scenes, like a gorgeous sunflower field. They have the exact same subject matter, the exact same lighting, and that same beautiful blue sky. Yet, without even having to think about it, your brain is probably telling you that one of those compositions just feels right. It feels comfortable and aesthetically pleasing, while the other one just feels ever so slightly off balance. Well, here's the secret. That appealing image, it aligns flawlessly with the 0.618 proportion, and that totally solves the mystery of its aesthetic draw. When a mathematical grid based on our golden ratio is applied, the horizon line of the sunflowers perfectly locks into that lower boundary. The visual weight is distributed according to this invisible mathematical law. Your brain didn't need a grid to know it looked good, but the math proves exactly why it does. And we experience this exact same phenomenon all the time. Think about a beach landscape. You've got the sandy dunes, the tall grass, maybe a distinctive fence post. Depending on the framing, it can either give you this deep sense of calm and structure, or it might just feel like a quick, uncalculated snapshot. It turns out our eyes are naturally hardwired to prefer the hidden architecture of the 0.618. When key focal points, like a fence post or the horizon of the sand dunes, hit those specific mathematical dividing lines, it creates a profound sense of order. It really is an undeniable, invisible mathematical law of aesthetics that dictates what we perceive as beautiful. So that brings up a pretty big question. How on earth do we bridge the gap between beautiful photography and something we can actually measure and use? I mean, it's one thing to say a picture looks pretty because it has good proportions, but as traders and analysts, we need hard data, right? We need actionable mechanics. How does this subconscious appreciation for visual balance become a tangible mathematical tool? The answer lies in the raw mathematics of the golden spiral, which represents a universal sequence that mathematically builds upon itself. This isn't just some artistic swirl. There is an exact, measurable formula underlying it. It scales outward infinitely, and it grows by a factor of exactly 0.618 at every single quarter turn. It is precise, it's predictable, and it is entirely governed by numbers. Let's break down how this rhythmically builds. As each number cascades into the next, it creates an infinite, predictable pattern out of thin air. You probably recognize this as the famous Fibonacci sequence. It's actually super simple. You take a number, add it to the previous number, and you get the next one. 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, and so on, 8, 13, 21. But here is the truly magical part. As these numbers get larger, if you divide any number in the sequence by the number that immediately follows it, the result will always infinitely approach our golden ratio, 0.618. Now, we reach the crucial turning point, crossing over from this flawless, beautiful, natural math into the absolute beast that is the crypto market. Tom Jones frames this transition wonderfully in his presentation. We are taking the pristine, unchanging beauty of natural mathematical law and throwing it straight into the jaws of Bitcoin, an asset class that is famous for its ruthless, unpredictable, and often savage volatility. Can the beauty actually tame the beast? Charting Bitcoin with Fibonacci. This brings us directly into the mechanical and highly structured world of Bitcoin scalping. This is where Tom's F2F or fib-to-fib strategy comes into play. It involves pulling these Fibonacci levels from a higher time frame right down to a lower one. Essentially, he takes a big picture view of the chart and splits it using our 0.618 golden ratio into clear upper, middle, and lower actionable zones. From there, you pull fibs within those fibs for scalping. This is where the magic becomes a real mechanical edge. It takes the terrifying, chaotic, blank canvas of a Bitcoin chart and turns it into an organized, gridded map of price and time. Just like a grid organizes a photograph, this strategy forces chaotic price action into a structured, readable format. But I have to emphasize this, and Tom's notes make it crystal clear. Even with this powerful mathematical edge, the absolute #1 priority is always strict risk management and protecting your unrealized profit. The golden ratio can absolutely tell you where the market is likely to find harmony, but it cannot protect your capital if you lack discipline. The key takeaway here is to treat unrealized profit like your own hard-earned money. Protect it, take those profits, and remember that those small, mathematically precise traits really do add up over time. So we'll conclude this explainer with a bit of an enigmatic puzzle from Tom. How does the mathematical perfection of the 0.618 explain the alluring romance of finding order within Bitcoin's grumpy volatility? Well, just like a beautifully balanced photograph can bring a sense of calm to our chaotic minds, applying the undeniable math of the golden ratio allows us to find harmony in the most unexpected places. Beneath all those wild, terrifying swings of the market, there is a fundamental mathematical rhythm just waiting to be understood. Which leaves us with one final fascinating thought. If the chaos of Bitcoin is secretly governed by the exact same math as a sunflower, what else in our world is secretly following the code of the 0.618?